Hello class, I wanted to record this for you guys so that you guys could have an actual exam example for you. So this is one version of what the exam is going to look like, and so I wanted to work this out for you guys so you guys can see it. Okay, so here it is. So this first example, it says 5w plus 2 is equal to a negative 33. And what they want to do is they want you to check to see is if you replace the w with these numbers, if they'll work. So in this first example, I'm going to go 5 times 2 plus 2, is that equal to a negative 33? Well, that tells me that 10 plus 2 is equal to negative 33, or that 12 is equal to negative 33. So that's clearly no. In the next example, then, we're going to go 5 times 6 plus 2. Is that equal to a negative 33? Well, we can see that this one's no, right? Because it's 30 plus 2 is equal to a negative 33. And that's going to be 32, which is equal to negative 33. And again, that is impossible. Now, in the next one, 5 times a negative 7 plus 2. Is that equal to a negative 33? Well, that's going to give me negative 35 plus 2, and negative 35 plus 2 is going to give me negative 33, which is equal to 33. Then the last one, it's 5 times a negative 5 plus 2. Is that equal to that negative 33? We see that's a negative 25 plus 2. And we can see that that's not going to be it, right? That's a negative 23. And so this is a no. So only one solution works. This is the process in doing these problems. And I wanted you to be able to see me doing it so that you guys clearly understood. All right, here's the next one. And it's asking us to solve for y. So negative 11 is equal to 3y plus 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides so that I can see what's going on. And I'm going to get a negative 18 is equal to 3y. Then to get rid of the 3, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. That's a terrible 3. And I'm going to get a negative 6 is equal to y. And that is my answer for number 2. Okay? I'll try to do it in color so you guys can clearly see what I'm doing. In this next example, to get rid of the denominator, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 3. And so that's going to give me 5x minus 27 is equal to negative and negative become a positive. 6 times 3 is 18. And then what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to add 27 to both sides. And when I add 27 to both sides, that's going to give me 45. And so from there, I'll go 5x is equal to 45. I need to divide by 5 both of them. And so what I'll get is x is equal to 9. And that should be the answer to number 3. And we can check that just so you guys know. I also am providing you guys the answers. They're down here at the end of the document, so you guys can work these problems out and check them for yourselves. Okay, so for number 4, we're going to see if we can simplify this as much as possible. So I'm going to distribute that first one. So I'm going to get 4u minus 28 minus 2 is equal to 24u minus 18 minus 6u. And then what we want to do is we want to combine like terms. So I'm going to go 4u minus, that's going to be 30. And then on the other side, 24 minus 6 is going to give me 18u minus 18. And then I'm going to bring the u's together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 4u from here and subtract 4u from here. And I'm going to get a negative 30 is equal to 14u minus 18. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 18 here. So I have to add 18 on this side. And that's going to give me, what is that? it's going to be a negative 12 is equal to 14u. And so u is equal to a negative 12 over 14, but that will simplify to a negative 6 over 7, and that should be our answer for number 4. So let's see if I'm right. Number 4, negative 6 over 7, that's exactly what I got. So there you can follow my work. And when I put this up, you'll be able to pause it, so that should be helpful for you guys. Okay, let's go on to number 5. And what we're doing is, this is the actual problem, and this is the actual problem. And then we need to decide if it's a solution or not. So on that first one, I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to get 4y minus 4 plus 7 is equal to 10y minus 15. So then it's going to be 4y plus 3 is equal to 10y minus 15. So when I subtract 4 from both sides, I'm going to get 6y minus 15 is equal to 3. And then adding 15 to both sides, I'm going to get 18 is equal to 6y. And so y will be equal to 3. So this one has this solution because it's actually giving me the variable by itself equal to a number. Okay. For the next one, and I'll work it over on this other side, I'm going to get 6v plus 6 minus 10 is equal to 4v minus 4 plus 2v. Combining like terms, I'm going to get 6v minus 4. And we can see when we move things over, they're already at the exact same. So what ends up happening is if I move things over, and I'll do it just so you guys can see, if I subtract 6v and I subtract 6v, they're going to be gone, right? And I'm going to get negative 4 is equal to negative 4. Well, when is negative 4 equal to negative 4? That's always. So since that's always, that's going to be all real solutions. Now, just in case you have a no solution on the exam, if either one of these would have ended up with like something like silly, like 3 is equal to 4, well, when is 3 equal to 4? That never happens, and so that would have been an example of a no solution. Okay, here's number 6. So with number 6, I'm going to cross multiply, so I'm going to get 6 times 8 is equal to 7 times u plus 5. So that's going to be 48 is equal to 7u plus 35. When I subtract 35, let me make sure I got my numbers right. Yeah, 48 and 35. I'm going to get 48 minus 35 is going to give me 13. So 13 is equal to 7u. So u is equal to 13 over 7. And that should be our answer. Okay? So in this next example that we're doing, we're trying to solve for a. And since we want a, we need to move the things that are with a over to the other side. And to move them to the other side, we have to do the opposite operation. And so the opposite operation would be to add b and to add 2. So I'm going to add b and add 2. So it's going to be p plus b plus 2 is equal to a. And that's the answer. Very, very straightforward. Okay. Now with products, like this problem's asking us to translate, product means to multiply. Where I put the multiplication is where the and is. So the way that I could do this is I could put a dot there for multiplication and just go 9 and b. And that would be my solution. It would be 9b, right? Because we don't even need to write the multiplication symbol. We could just write it as 9b because we know that means multiplication. So either one of those will work for me. Okay, for number 9, it's asking us to translate it, right? And so some important words. equals, I'm going to put an equal sign, right? Sum is telling us to add. What do we add? We add at the and. So at the and is where I put plus. And since it's 9 times that, think of that as a parentheses. So I'm going to have a 3 and a number, I'll call it x. And then it says 9 times, so I just need to put the 9 there. And that equals 6. And so that's how I translate this thing. Everywhere it says product, quotient, sum, difference, you put the operator at the word and. And then what's to the left gets put to the left of the operation. What's to the right gets put to the right of the operation. And that should be your solution there. Okay, for number 10. It says Shen has a half full tank and he buys 7 gallons of gas, and now he's 3/4 of a tank full. So how many gallons can his vehicle hold? And so here's what it's going to be. It's 1/2 the total amount. If I add 7 gallons, I should get a tank that's 3/4 full, right? Now to make this problem as simple as possible for me, I'm going to multiply everything by 4. So multiplying everything by 4, what's half of 4? Half of 4 is 2, so I'm going to get 2x. What's 7 times 4? 7 times 4 is going to be 28. And then 3/4 of 4, the 4s would cancel, and I would get 3x. So what I did there, and I'll do this in a different color just so you guys know, I multiplied everything by 4 to get that next step. Now from there, I'm going to subtract 2x, so I'm going to get 28 is equal to 3x minus 2x, or 28 is equal to x. And so it should hold 28 gallons of gas. Now for number 11, it says 3 consecutive integers, and integers are like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go, okay, x, the next integer would be x plus 1, and the next integer after that would be x plus 2. And that's because, like, if I had 2, the next number is 3, I have to add 1. The next number after that is 4, so to get to 4 from 2, I'd have to add 2 to it. So then this is going to clean up to be 3x plus 3 is equal to 72. Subtracting 3 to both sides, I'm going to get 3x is equal to 69. And then dividing that, I'm going to get x is equal to 23. But it also wants the other 2 integers. So then we also have 24 and 25. Now, if we were to add those up, that would equal 72. Okay? All right. Let's go on to number 12. And in number 12, it says 2 trains leave a station 288 miles apart at the same time and travel towards each other. So, here's a train, and they're traveling towards each other, so one's going in this direction, one is going in this direction, and it says that one train is going 85 miles per hour, so this one's going 85 miles per hour, and this train's going 95 miles per hour. How long does it take for the trains to meet? So, we got to remember that the distance between the trains from here to here is 288. Well, as they're coming closer and closer together, they're both taking away from the space together. So the way we can think of it is 85x plus 95x is going to be equal to 28, or 288, because that's the total distance covered. Because in the first hour it covered 85, the next hour it covered 85, and then the next hour it covered 85, right? Well, this one every hour is covering 95, and the distance is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So we can add them up to get those hours. So it's going to be 180x is equal to 288. So then I'm going to go 288 divided by 180. And that's going to give me that in 1.6 hours, the two trains will meet. But the important piece for this problem was drawing the picture, because the picture ends up helping me understand what's happening in the problem. So my advice when doing these types of problems is to come up with a picture, okay? All right, our next problem is talking about the perimeter. And the perimeter is just walking around the whole thing. So as we walk around it, that should be 96 units, okay? So then we know that this side is going to be 3y minus 2, and this is going to be 2y. So then to walk around the block would mean I'd have to go 3y minus 2, 2y, 3y minus 2, and 2y to get back to the same corner. So 3y minus 2 plus 2y plus 3y minus 2 plus 2y should equal 96 units. So when we add these up, I'm going to get 6, 10y minus 4 is equal to 96, right? Did I add that up right? 5y, 5y, and minus 4, yes. So I'm going to get 10y is equal to equal to 100, and so y is equal to 10. And what are they asking? Find the length of CD. So they want to find this length. So if we want to find this length, isn't that going to be twice y? And twice y is 2 times 10, which is 20. And that is our answer. So please be sure to understand they're not looking for y, they're looking for a specific side. So be careful with that. They're probably trying to trick you with that, okay? All right, next. So these are three angles. Three angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to go 4x minus 2 plus x plus 6x plus 6, and that's supposed to equal 180 degrees. Please remember, triangles add up to 180 degrees. So then combining like terms, it looks like I'm going to get 11x plus 4 is equal to 180. Right? Does that look right to you guys? 4, 5, that's 11, and then the minus 4, yes. Now, when I subtract that, I'm going to get 11x is equal to 176, and so x should equal 176 divided by 11. So x is 16. Now, let's see, what is the problem asking for? It says find the degree measure of each angle. So this one's going to be 16. This one here is going to be 6 times 16 plus 6. So 6 times 16 plus 6 is 102. And then this one would be 4 times 16 minus 2. So 4 times 16 minus 2 is 62. And then what you can do is add those up and see if they add up to 180, which these do. So that the answer to this is actually these three. Okay? All right. So next, I really like these problems. So this right here is telling me that I'm going to have a circle that's filled in at 3. And then this inequality like this, since the variable is on the left, I think of this as an arrow. So it's telling me which way to go. It's telling me to go this way. Over here, again, it's a filled in circle at 6, but the arrow with the variable on the left is pointing the other way. so I got to go this way. So this is the solution to this problem. Another way to do it is you could have checked. So like, is 5 less than or equal to 6? Yes, that works. Is 4 greater than or equal to 3? Yes, that works. Okay? All right, let's go on to number 16. And in number 16, we're asked to graph this. And so the way I think about this, guys, is I think of it like this. I'm going to ignore this and graph that. So it's saying -6. It's a filled-in circle. And now what's crazy about this is the variable's on the left. The variable's on the right. And if the variable's on the right, the inequality is lying in terms of the direction it's telling you to go. So if we look at it, that arrow looks like we're supposed to go to the left. But because the variable's on the right, we're supposed to go opposite. So we're going to go this way. Okay. Now, to do the other one, I'm going to ignore this side. And it says it's a filled-in circle at 1. Since the variable is on the left, it's pointing in the direction that I'm supposed to go. So I need to go this way with it. Okay? And so this ends up being my shaded area. All right. Let's go on to 17. And we have two sets. And we're trying to see from these sets, the union tells us, so B, the union, M, is just saying list everything without repeating. So I have, and I'll try to do it in alphabetical order, it's D, E, F, G, H, and then K, I believe, right? That's all of them. Yeah, that's it. That's all of them. Okay, so union puts them all together, but it doesn't, if they had something that overlapped, it would not write them twice. Okay? Now, intersection, B intersection M, is talking about what they both have in common. Well, is there anything that they have in common? The answer is no. So you can write it this way as nothing in the set, or you can write it this way, which is called the null set. Okay, the next problem is solve the inequality for x. And when we do that, it's just like we've done, right? 4x plus 25 is greater than 9. I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. And so I'm going to get negative 4x is greater than, what's that going to be? Is that a negative 16? Now, one thing that's important, and I'll write this, so 4x and minus 16, when I divide by a negative, that flips the inequality. So please don't forget to flip the inequality. And so x is going to be less than 4. And that's our solution. The important piece here is remember that you flip when multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Okay, our last problem is this one here. And so I'm going to get 5u minus 36 is less than 4 times 3 minus 2u. So 5u minus 36 is less than, excuse me, positive 8. And now, because I don't want to worry about flipping, I'm going to move the smaller of the two u problems or terms. And so I'm going to get negative 36 is less than 12 plus 3u. Now I'm going to add 12 to both sides. And so I'm going to get 3u over here. And that's going to be a negative 24. Now, the thing about this problem that's so important is now I'm dividing by 3. It's a positive 3. I don't care that the answer ends up being negative. It's what I divide by. And so I don't flip it. And I'm going to get a negative 8. And that's my solution. This is an example of what your exam is going to be. It's a very close example. The only thing that'll be different are the numbers. So please take some time to really watch this, okay? I wish you all the best. Work hard these next couple days. All right, take care. Bye-bye.